Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a brand new video, and hopefully this all looks and sounds okay. I'm actually recording this through my Mac today with an external microphone which I haven't used before, so hopefully the sound is crystal clear, hopefully. But yeah, we'll give it a go and see how it goes. So this video is all about Music Bank and my experience there, the groups, the setup, just kind of everything. I'm going to try and make this not too long because I do have a tendency to just keep talking, but I will be basically sharing the set list from what I can remember. I've written most of it down, a few clips of footage from the concert, and then ultimately just my review of the whole thing. So if you're here for it and you'd like to find out all about the groups that performed there, as well as my first time experiencing Stray Kids, then please get a snack, get a drink, make sure you're comfortable. Let's go. Okay, so first thing first, what the heck is Music Bank? So if you guys are aware of K-pop and their multiple kind of shows that they do with comebacks and groups and live performances, etc, etc, Music Bank is one of those. And what they have a tendency to do, I don't know if it's every year, I don't know, this is my first experience with Music Bank, is kind of have a random concert just somewhere. I know they've done like Berlin, for example, because that's where Skids first performed at Music Bank. I assume they've done other places. They must have done, especially in Europe. But the one I attended, which was literally 2 days ago, was in Paris, France. So basically what happened is 9 groups came together to do a mini concert. Initially, when it was first announced, I think there was only 5 groups or possibly 6. And then later on down the line, they added the other ones who would complete the lineup. So for this show, the primary reason why I went is because of Stray Kids. Stray Kids went and they performed there. Oh my god. And because obviously Europe didn't have the tour, boo, you know, I could talk about that till the end of the earth about how disappointed I am. This was, to me, my opportunity to see them because I have no idea if they'll ever come to Europe. We don't know when the next world tour is going to be. So as soon as I saw their name on the list, I was like, I don't give a shit, I'm going. I need to go. But what also massively swayed me was Enhypen were also announced at the same time. And if you guys follow my journey with them on my channel, I love Enhypen. So just the fact that Stray Kids and Enhypen were there is huge. And the other group that was announced with them was Mamamoo. And then who else was it? Was it the Boyz? I can't remember who the initial ones were, but Mamamoo was definitely on there. And, you know, everyone knows who Mamamoo is. They're a huge, huge, huge girl group, like massive. And then the other groups that were announced alongside was, I'm just referring to my phone, NMIXX, P1Harmony, Cravity, IVE, and AB6IX. So it was a lineup of boys and girls. There was only 3 girl groups, the rest were boy groups. But overall, it was a nice mixture of like ages and styles, etc, etc. So prices, I will not lie to you, it was expensive. It was a long ass show, so it lasted like 4 hours or around that time. I'll talk about that more later. But there was basically super VIP where you'd be, because the whole floor of the floor was standing, and that to me is hell on earth. I have done standing for concerts plenty of times, and when it's general admission, you are fighting for your life. People will camp a week before. Like, people don't care. People will camp and wait outside and just live at the venue until the concert, so they're first in line. Unfortunately, I can't do that. I queued for 16 hours to see BTS when they were at the O2 Arena for the first time I saw them, before they did Wembley and stuff like that. And I will never, ever, ever do that again. As much as it was nice because I was at Barricade, it was hell on earth. Seeing the ultimate size of it was the Defence Arena, where Music Bank was, it can hold 40,000 people, right? I don't know how many were there for the concert, but the floor is huge. And all I could think to myself was, no amount of money could make me want to just queue up with thousands of people to be at the back or at the front. There's no way I'd be at the front unless I queued and waited for like a week outside, which people did, I'd like to add. Like, you know, people are strong these days. K-pop fans are wild. I could not physically do that. And the like crazy barrier, like front row VIP, was like €500. And that to me is insanely expensive to not be guaranteed to be right at the front. Because as much as you were at the front, unless you queued your ass earlier, you know, like I say, a week before, you could still be quite a few rows back, you know what I mean? So they had like the crazy VIP, then the next level of VIP, and then kind of regular standing. And then there was like gold and all the other kind of seats going kind of further back, further away. So I got gold. I can't remember the exact price, but it was like It was more than I was initially wanting to pay, but whatever, it was Stray Kids. I was like desperate. I was like, I want a decent seat, so I'll just pay it. If it didn't mean me standing, I'll pay it. So that leads me then to talk about the actual venue itself. So doors opened at 4, I think, or 4:30 p.m. and the show was to start at 6. So that had 2 hours to get thousands and thousands of people inside. So you'd think to yourself, right? Okay, there must be some structure here to make this work, to make it go smoothly, to make sure people aren't passing out in the queue or dying of heat stroke or it not being just a mess. And no, the organisation was absolutely non-existent. There was just, the moment you got anywhere near to the arena, there was queues everywhere, left, right, and centre. People just making their own queues, people not knowing where to go, where to stand. The place is huge and everyone on their ticket had a certain kind of gate they had to go to, like an entrance they had to go to. And it got to the point, because I asked like a staff member, which by the way, there was like no staff. There was like no staff anywhere you could speak to find out where the hell am I going. And it didn't matter if you were entrance 5, entrance 60, entrance 42. They were just like, just queue here. And I was like, what, with these 20,000 people? And you've got to get us all inside in 2 hours? What? It just was not, it was not good at all. And just before I get to me joining the queue, bear in mind, people had these €500 tickets of like crazy entry. I think you got sound check. I don't actually know what that entailed because I didn't want to even entertain the idea. But apparently, and I saw on Twitter and people, you know, updating left, right and centre, that even for standing in VIP and stuff like that, there was no structure. It was a fight for your life to get inside that venue. And that to me is just so unfair. Like, I don't understand how you can possibly not structure such a huge event. How are these companies not learning now that when anything is K-pop related, anything at all, it's gonna be insane? Like, just get some sort of structure, have more staff, have barriers and just, you know, places for people to go and know where they're going. The amount of kids that were there on their own, I'd like to add, who were asking other people around them, the language barriers, you know, because people travel from all over Europe to get to these concerts. They were just scared and not knowing where to go. And, you know, if you had serious anxiety and you were just claustrophobic, it was awful. So I was with Jenny, and Jenny's from Michael Buff TV if you see her channel over there, and we'd got there about an hour earlier because I, in my head, had wanted to have a look around, meet people, see what was going on. But you physically couldn't walk anywhere because of the sheer amount of people. It was really disappointing in that aspect. And it got to the point where we'd walked around, we'd spoken to the one member of staff we could find. They gave us nothing, absolutely nothing. They were just like, just join this queue. Okay, that's fine. We ultimately got near to where a queue was kind of halfway back from the venue, but there was no way in hell, and I'm sorry to the people who did do this, I was not going all the way to the back because there was no organisation. There was people just cutting in, cutting out, going anywhere they could. So where the one staff member was, where the kind of barriers began to form whatever kind of shit queues they managed, the people, it was like 20 people thick, you know what I mean, in width. And people just joining in. And I just turned to Jenny and I went, we just need to get in the queue. Because I was genuinely terrified we would miss the start of the show because of how the hell they were going to get all these people inside. Anyway, cut a long story short, we managed to get in the queue. Again, I'll put my hands up here and say, we just cut in the queue. But so did thousands of other people. It was just like that. It was like leading cattle to a slaughter. Everyone was just kind of coming in, all kind of angles, left, right, centre, pushing, shoving. It was just a nightmare. But anyway, we got in. Woo! And we got in and we got to our seats, which I'd like to add were pretty damn decent. I wasn't close, but I wasn't far. You know what I mean? And if I'd had a better phone, I probably could have got such better footage. But we were still relatively far back. But that's only because of the sheer size of the pit of the floor. The floor was that big, it pushed all the seating further back, if that makes sense. Anyway, so enough of all of that. We got in, we're happy, we're ecstatic. We can't believe we're about to see Stray Kids. So we're up the stage is facing outwards, we're up on the right hand side. And suddenly, I'm just looking down because by the side of the stage, there was like a curtain, but we could see over the curtain very, very well. And I'm not joking, guys. I saw Hyunjin. Look at me, I'm like, ugh. I saw Hyunjin, and then Changbin was there, and then Sungmin, and then Felix, and then Stray Kids were just there. They were just there. And I grabbed Jenny. I'm so sorry, Jenny, if you ever watch this. I was like, it's fucking Hyunjin. Like, and slowly the people on our side, because it wasn't too busy on our side where we were, people were obviously still waiting to get inside, for God's sake. They were like, we just all started screaming. It's pathetic, really. We were just screaming and we're like, oh my God. They obviously heard us and reacted and came out. They were waving. Hyunjin was being very, very flirtatious. He was very happy that we were all screaming for them, because he was like wandering out, doing a little dancey dance. He'd wander back. Sungmin would pop his head out. And then I saw Jisung and I was just like, fuck! And I was holding Hankwalker and Dweki. And I was literally just, like, I don't even know what I was doing. Because in your head in that moment, as delusional as it is, you think they're going to notice you. They think they're going to see you and be like, yes. Weirdly, in my head, I was just like, oh my God. I was like, Dweki and Quokka. I was just like, yes, Stray Kids, oh my God. Like, screaming. And they were just having a good time. They were all just waving and stuff like that. And yeah, wonderful. So that really kind of put things into perspective for me, that holy shit, Stray Kids are physically there. They're human beings. They're real. They're not a figment of my imagination. They're not some AI that's created for me to just love and adore. They are human beings, and they were there. And I could see them. And it was like, oh my God. And then they went because the show was about to start. So they kind of went round and they went on to the extended stage. And basically the lights went down. It was starting, everyone was screaming. It was going freaking mental. Bear in mind, they'd been showing music videos as well. And every time a music video, people were like, woo! And Enhypen came on and that was the biggest cheer. But then Maniac started a music video and everyone was just, it was literally deafening. People were desperate. We were feral, guys. Because we hadn't had any sort of tour or anything, we were screaming, like screeching. It was absolutely ridiculous. And that was for a music video. Anyway. Is it Bogum? Bogum? Is that how you pronounce it? Who was the MC for the event? It all started, the lights went down, he came on, and then he introduced all the groups, and everyone was just going wild. And it was crazy just to see them all on stage. Even groups I'd never heard of before. It was still a wonderful experience to just see them. And it's like, oh my God, look, there they are, you know, like the idols we see on TV and on YouTube, they're there in front of us. It was a bizarre experience, I won't lie, but an equally exciting one, you know? So before, this is going to be a long video. I'm so sorry. I've got so much to say. Can you tell? So I've written down kind of like the order of things and how things went from my best of my ability. I know I could probably have just found it on Twitter, but I was just like, I wanted to remember from my head and I was kind of filling it in as I was watching. Do you know what I mean? So once they'd all done their introductions, everyone went crazy. It was actually NMIXX that started the show. Again, I will include a little bit of footage here guys, but please know, it's the worst footage ever. I was just having the time of my life and I didn't want to just be stuck on my phone. So I'll show little snippets just so you can see. But I do think there are like 2 groups I didn't film just purely because I was too busy living my best life. And that was Cravity and AB6IX. So I do apologise, I don't have footage of that. I did go to the bathroom at one point and then got caught talking to a couple of people out there. So I did kind of miss little like snippets and I just didn't think to film, so I do apologise if you were expecting footage from every single group, but I have got footage from pretty much the whole thing except them 2, so you know, disclaimer, I'm really sorry. So yeah, NMIXX started the show, which was wonderful. I just wish they'd had longer. To be fair, I wish all the groups had had longer, but they still absolutely nailed it. So they did Love Me Like That, is it O.O, which was that their debut track? And then Young, Dumb and Stupid. Again, I don't know if that's the official order that they went in, but they're the 3 songs that they did. And you know what? They were really good. They were really cute. You know, their choreographies really slap hard. Like out of girl group choreographies, there's a lot of movement to them. If that makes sense, they're not very stiff. They're very in it. And yeah, they were great. So here is a bit of the footage from what I got from them. Please excuse the screaming, the shaking, just the overall terrible quality. But yeah, here you go. So yeah, that was NMIXX, and as a first time kind of experience, I liked them, and I really like their music. Like, I loved Young, Dumb and Stupid purely because I couldn't believe that's a song, because just because it has the backing beat of like a nursery rhyme. I was like, what is this? But you know, the crowd was really energetic, they were really energetic, and ultimately they were just really cute. And then the second group to perform was P1Harmony, and I was very excited for these guys because if you know from the few reactions I've done, I'm really into them right now. And I did Doom to Doom on my like pre-music bank like video that I did, and I'm obsessed with that song. So they opened up with Back Down, then they did, I think they did Doom to Doom again, I can't remember the order. They did Doom to Doom, and then they did a song I don't actually know called Follow Me. Gorgeous. The energy was just off the charts. People were just going crazy. What was really cute was the girl next to me, as much as she was screaming and I was like deaf by the end of it, but you know, it was cute, don't get me wrong, like you're excited, I get it. She was living her best life. She like knew every single group, and that's how I wish I could have got into it a little bit more, like knowing the groups. But she was singing along, screaming, shouting. She was having a wonderful time, and it was so cute to see. So let's check out a little bit of footage from P1Harmony. Again, sorry if it's terrible, but here you go. So after P1Harmony, it was then Enhypen who came out and did a really cute like special stage of Polaroid Love. It was cute, despite the outfits being absolutely like sexy. Sorry, it was cute, and it was just so random that they came out to do that. You know what I mean? They just did it and then went, and it was like, okay, well, we'll see you later then, shall we? So here is a little tiny snippet. I just wanted to show just a small section of it because at the end they just looked really cute, and I was like, oh, blushing up on the stands, like, what? It's So once we'd had that special stage from Enhypen, the room blew up because then it was Mamamoo. And I was excited for Mamamoo purely because these aren't girls, these are women, and they are so incredibly talented. Like, their live vocals, I just knew they were going to be really, really good. And I was very, very, very excited because these are probably the most established group on the lineup in regards to like experience and popularity, etc., etc. I made a mistake on my pre-music bank reaction because I thought Hip was like the last song they did as a group, but I realized I was looking at an old playlist, so please forgive me. I was looking at a non-updated playlist of their MVs, but they actually have had a comeback with Irella. Mamamoo actually performed 5 songs. They had the most songs of the night, which was, you know, amazing. So they did Irella, Hip, Starry Night, which I was so happy about because I love that song. Is it called Oh Ah Yes? And then Decalamine? No idea. But they were great. And they were so sexy and so like mommy energy. They, like I say, they were just women, established women who knew exactly what they were doing. And you could see it from a mile off. They looked absolutely unbelievable, and I was genuinely impressed with them and their vocals and just the presence they held in the room. So again, the footage might be absolutely terrible, but here's a few clips of Mamamoo. told you, the footage is just terrible, guys. I'm so sorry. And I'm just gonna have a quick mouthful of tea because I've been talking for so long. This is probably gonna be much longer than needed. I'm so sorry. Okay, so after Mamamoo, we had a really fun set of 4 special stages, which were unbelievably exciting. So first up, NMIXX came out and covered Twice, and they did, you know, the TT. I am not a Twice person, but I know how big they are, and I know how big that was for NMIXX and for Twice fans, and it was cute. They did a really good job, and it was adorable. And yeah, I didn't know the song at all, but I enjoyed the performance nonetheless. And then P1Harmony came out to cover Two Baddies by NCT. Again, it's not my favourite song in the world. However, it does get people singing, it does get people moving. And P1Harmony did actually nail it. They did a really, really good job. So that was fun. Then I was super excited because Cravity then came out to do Gambler by Monster X, and they're under the same label as well. And it was just so fun. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Because I love Monster X, I stand Monster X, I up Monster X, and I haven't seen anything like that before. And they did a really good job. Again, it was very sexy, as you'll see in the footage in a minute. And then, to top it all off, Cravity and P1Harmony did That by Psy. And the room just went crazy. Everyone was just like, oh my god! Like, it was as if Yoongi was there or something. Everyone was just hyping the heck out of them. And it was unbelievably fun, and everyone was just grooving and moving. So again, these are the worst clips ever, purely because I was like, I don't want to film, I want to dance, and I was jumping around and was having a great time. So, but yeah, here's a little kind of idea of how the stages looked. So we were about halfway, maybe a quarter of the way into the show by then. Everything was just unbelievably exciting. Everyone was so pumped up. We didn't know who was going to be next, but it just happened to be the Boyz. So as I said in my pre-Music Bank video, I know the Boyz briefly from Kingdom. I watched their MV to Raw. Really enjoyed that, I'd like to add. And luckily, they performed it. Who would have thought? So the Boyz, a bit like with Mamamoo, but perhaps not as established, knew again what they were doing, and they were so sexy, and their stage presence was unbelievable. Like, oh my god, they just held the stage so well. I don't know if I have many snippets. I think I got snippets from Raw, primarily the dance break, because I knew it was coming. So yeah, let's quickly check that out. So yeah, just men being men, you know. I thoroughly enjoyed the Boyz. They were great. They made me want to listen to more of their music. That's all I'm gonna say. So after that, it was Cravity. I think they only did 2 songs. At least I've only written 2 songs down, and I feel really bad there because I don't know if they did an extra song and I've just missed it completely. They were cute, but I think I disappeared to get a drink or go to the toilet, either just before they came on or partway when they came on. And I do feel bad for that, but at the end of the day, if you need to go to the bathroom or you need to hydrate, you've got to do it. You know, like, unfortunately, I don't know Cravity, but from what I saw, they were fun. You know, they had a good time on stage. There was a lot of people screaming for them. And from what I've got written down, they did groovy and party rock. So forgive me, it's not that I don't like them. That's not that at all. But I'd seen IVE, because you remember me saying before, we could see who was next on stage from the left-hand side from where we were. We could see them down there. And I knew IVE was going to be next. And I was really excited for IVE. And I kind of prioritized there, which I hate because I wanted to give all the groups my full attention. But yeah, I apologize. I don't have any Cravity content. But then, like I say, we move on to IVE. And IVE, just like Mamamoo, did 5 songs. I thought they did 4, but they actually did 5. They were adorable and unbelievably stunning. Like, every group was amazing. Like I said at the start of this, you can't actually believe these groups are real until they're in front of you, if that makes sense. Even if you're not that close, you're quite far away, they're still stood there, they're still human beings. These girls were just beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and they were so cute. And I was like, oh my god, I felt myself like, oh, I just wanted to, like, I can't explain it. They were just adorable. They did Kitsch, Afterlike, My Satisfaction, 11, and Love Dive. Again, not sure if it was that order, but they're the 5 songs that they did. Enjoyed every single one, to the point where I will be doing a video on their MVs, because I really, for a girl group and me, it was great, and they did really well. They did look a little bit uncomfortable on stage, and I don't know if it was just the overwhelmingness of the crowd. You know, I felt like they were a little bit out of their depth, but I don't mean that affected their performance in any shape or form. I just wish they could have been a bit more looser and looked to have been having fun with it. They were quite stiff, and that could have just been nerves. But either way, the performances were great. So I think I only actually got content for Love Dive because that's a song that I knew, because I wanted to stand and like enjoy the other songs. But if you're interested, let's check it out. IVE, and I apologise if this video is just the longest thing known to man. It's just a lot actually happened, and trying to talk about it is quite... so yeah, that was IVE, and then we had a really cute special stage of 2 like OST covers. We had Sola from Mamamoo come and do a song from Ratatouille. Don't know the song title, I'm so sorry. And then we had members of the Boyz plus the MC, who was on piano, I think. Again, I might be wrong there, I can't actually remember properly. Do a K-drama OST. I don't have any footage of that because, if I'm being brutally honest with you, I just sat and enjoyed, because they were both beautiful performances. They really, really were. So that left 3 groups, and I knew AB6IX was going to be next because I knew Enhypen and Stray Kids were going to be last. Like, I just, you know, you just get the vibe. So we had AB6IX come out, and again, I don't actually think I've got any footage. I might do. If I do, I'll add it on, but I don't think I got any footage of AB6IX because I was just, again, enjoying it. And at that point, I think I'd kind of plugged my phone into charge and I'd not really thought about it. I was just enjoying, and again, I went to the toilet throughout that performance as well. But they did 4 songs. They did Sugarcoat, Breathe, Complicated, and Savior. And again, I liked them to the point that I think I will actually do a little segment of them on my channel, because I really enjoyed Sugarcoat. I enjoyed hearing that again, and I think I liked Savior. I'm sure it was called Savior. It was like the last song they did, and again, they were great. They really just had a fun stage presence. They looked beautiful. The outfits were great. It was just a nice, pleasant watch, if I'm being brutally honest with you. But I will say, at that point, as they were coming to their close of their performances, everyone was really, like, the energy was just amping up because everyone knew Enhypen was going to be next, or Stray Kids. I personally knew Stray Kids would be last. I just think they were going to use Skiz as the last closing act. So it was going to be Enhypen. And when I say I was excited for Enhypen, I was excited. Oh my god, I love Enhypen. I don't think it was until I was sat there with them in front of me that I realised actually how much I stan Enhypen now. I really, 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 really do. So they came out. Oh my god, they looked incredible. The hair, the outfits, the stage presence, the attitude. I was mesmerised. I think I got a little bit of footage, but not of every song, because again, I was just, you know, when you're just staring. So they did Drunk Dazed, Fever, Tame Dashed, Go Big or Go Home, which I have just filmed a video from before this because I'm like obsessed with that song. The room was partying hard for Go Big or Go Home. That was such a great song. And then they finished with Pass the Mic. And again, stage presence, energy, attitude, ego. They are unbelievable performers. And the girls next to us, behind me, in front of them, they were hardcore Enhypen fans. Nikki came on the stage, they were screaming. He's looking on the stage, screaming. And he came on the stage and was just screaming. And honestly, I loved every second. They did so good. And I was, yeah, blown away. Like, I can't believe I'm sitting here saying I've seen Enhypen, because if they toured and they came to Europe, yes, I would go and see them. So good. So here is some very badly filmed content from Enhypen. Please enjoy. And then Enhypen finish. And we knew what was coming next. And I was literally sweating, shaking. I had to keep like prep talking myself. I was like, oh my God, we're fine. We've got this. We're all right. I was looking at Jenny next to me because we were with other friends as well. We were with the My Cup of TV gang. So Erin, Kat and JD. And yeah, it was just, me and Jenny particularly were like stressed. Bear in mind, me and her had seen them earlier. So we knew they were there. We knew they were real. We were like, oh my God, we're going to see Stray Kids in a minute. Erin actually filmed us seeing them for the first time, and I'll include that footage. I haven't asked her yet, so if I don't upload it, I'm sorry. But yeah, it was just, we're okay, we're okay. When they came out, I was in such a state of shock. I was like, so many of the videos, I literally stood with my mouth open like. So they have little intros that play before the groups come on with like their names and stuff. I'll put mine on here. It's just a shit, really bad video because I'm like swaying all over the place. Like I'm just screaming. It's just, but this is the effect. But when I say, I thought the room was electric for Enhypen, times that by 100 and you get the crowd energy for Stray Kids. I'm not trying to sound big-headed here or biased, but I can guarantee like at least 90% of that crowd was there for Stray Kids. Absolutely, because it just went, it turned up. It turned up. So yeah, they come out and Case 143 starts playing, and I'm just getting really stressed because I'm like, oh my God, they're there, they're right there, I can hear them, I can see them, what is going on? And it was just screaming and shouting and just, can I be your boyfriend? And I was like, yes, you fucking can. Oh my God, and it was just like, they're there. It was ridiculous. And honestly, at that moment in time, I just couldn't believe they were just, like I say, real people. It just absolutely did something to me mentally. I felt tears well up between like my eyes. I was gonna cry. But then I just got overwhelmed with like such excitement. It's like the tears got sucked back into my like tear ducts, and I was just like, whoa, you know? It went from like, oh, you saved my life to just fucking love you, you know? It was just ridiculous. So yeah, they did Case 143, then they said hi and introduced themselves, and then they did Maniac, and again, just the crowd went absolutely fucking wild. Wild, I tell you. One thing I will never ever forgive Music Bank for, and I should have spoken about this earlier, their camera work is rubbish. Honestly, I don't understand why they can't have just filmed them. Like, they had to do such wide shots, zooming in shots, angle shots. They filmed them from behind for so many things. It's like, I don't want to see the backs of their heads. I want to see their faces. And when, you know, they're not in front of us, like, the stages, they were far away from us. Not far away that we couldn't see their faces, but we were relying primarily on the big screens to see the close-ups of them. And I'll never forgive Music Bank because I actually have a video where I'm literally screaming over Jisung, and then I'm waiting for Changbin's pop-in. I'm waiting for it, and they film from the back, and not even in a way that you could see their asses pop in. I was like, so annoyed. I was like, no, Changbin! Like, they did it dirty. But the disappointment was over in a flash because it was like, you know, maniac, everyone was just screaming. It was great. Anyway, and then they did this little game thing where they read post-it notes, and it wasn't a very long game, and it was quite disappointing, to be honest with you, because it was just unnecessary. I would have preferred them to do another song rather than that, because not much came of it. There was just that much screaming, you couldn't really hear them speaking, which was a little bit disappointing. But whatever, we're there for the music, you know? And then they were like, let's go, let's do another song. And I was like, yeah, what the hell could it be? God's Menu. The room exploded. The do was just unbelievable. It was deafening, like deafening. And yeah, just perfection. Obviously, we got God's menu. I'm so happy. They said some other stuff, because bear in mind, guys, I'm British, and I was very disappointed because yes, I know it was in France. Like I know it was in France. I know, but the captions they had for like what they were saying was all in French. I expected it to at least have been in French and in English, and I'm not trying to be entitled there in terms of me being an English speaker, but there will not have just been French there. There was so many people from across Europe there, probably further, and they probably would have had more of a knowledge of the English language than the French. So I really wish they could have just at least have put both, because I missed all of the speaking, whatever the hell they were talking about, whatever they were translating, I missed it. So that was disappointing, because I couldn't get engaged with what like any of the groups were actually physically saying to us. So they did the step out thing, which was cute, and then the lights go off. And then I'm like, oh, I wonder what they're going to do. I wonder what they're going to do. I thought they were going to do Thundress or something like that. Miro. They did Miro. And I have literally said, since like really early on in my Stray Kids journey, Miro and Double Knot are the two songs I really wanted to hear live, because they are what brought me to Skiz. And I thought the energy was already hyped. You know, we'd had Case 143, Maniac. We just had God's freaking menu. But they just had to do Miro. And it was mad. It was chaos. Everyone was just going absolutely mental. The Stray Kids, everyone was just screaming it. People were doing the choreography. It was unbelievable. So we were all hype as fuck, and then it finished, and they bowed and left. And I stood there in sheer shock, just like, is that it? There was an hour left of the show. That it was meant to finish at 10:30, and it was 9:42. I remember looking at my watch and thinking, what's going on? Like, they did 4 songs. And I'm not trying to sound ungrateful. I'm really not, because it was the best moment of my life. But they hyped us up so high, and then they just, what? So, yeah, they just blew our minds and then left. And then all the groups came on and did this big goodbye thing, and they were waving, and it was cute. But Skiz, as always, were there till the very end. All the other groups had gone. Hyunjin was running around throwing hugs at the crowd. It was the cutest thing ever. Felix was waving, everyone was waving. And then they left, and then the lights came on, and me and Jenny kind of looked at each other and was like, there should be like at least 45 minutes left of this. Why is it finished? It was really kind of an abrupt ending, and that was very disappointing. The groups didn't disappoint us, the performances didn't disappoint us, obviously, but it just kind of ended, and it was really quick to finish. And then obviously 40,000 people had to get out of this venue, and it was just a lot to happen to suddenly end really quickly. Do you know what I mean? But before I talk about all of the ending and stuff like that, here's my Stray Kids clips. Again, they're terrible, and I scream a lot and just make loads of noises. So yeah, just enjoy.
오케이. 모두 준비됐나요? 예. Step up! Salut à tous! Nous sommes Sharkies in the building! 감사합니다. Music Bank in Paris! Let's go!
So yeah, Stray Kids. Ah. And the one thing that Europeans now have moving forward is we have Lollapalooza. And the one good thing about Lollapalooza is that they've actually tweeted and kind of guaranteed that Skiz will have an hour, if not longer, because they're headlining. So it's a little bit different. I think a lot of people, myself included, just got excited for Skiz when they came on and we had, 60 minutes left of a show. So we were assuming Skiz could have had at least 30, maybe 40 minutes, 6 or 7 songs, and then they'd still have that ending, but they didn't. So as much as that was disappointing, the whole kind of, from the start, the moment the concert started, it was unbelievable. And I truly enjoyed every second of it. I will say, for the cost of how much it cost me to do everything, including accommodation, flights, the tickets itself, and just being there, it was a lot of money. I could probably have gone to America and watched a tour. Do you know what I mean? Just because of how much is accumulated, including my time actually in France and stuff like that. Taxis, Ubers, metros, everything like that. It was an expensive experience, but I will never ever take it for granted because it was my first time seeing a lot of groups. It was my first time seeing Stray Kids, and I will never forget that. I will never ever forget that. And despite it not being a tour, and despite it not being a 3-hour performance with lots of engagement and better seats and more interactions and meeting people, etc., etc., it was still Stray Kids, and that just means the absolute world to me. And I'm so glad I got to just be in that environment and just experience all of the love that all of these groups had. Being part of that crowd was great. So yeah, Lolla's going to be great, but Lolla's also scaring me because if they had absolutely no organization for this, Lolla's a festival with a lot more people, and I'm just worried at how the heck they're going to organise it. And I truly believe, hand on heart, because Stray Kids are headlining on the Friday of Lolla with, I won't lie to you, 6 people who I have no idea about, and because of how good value the tickets were, I think it's going to be 99% stays in that audience, which will be great for Stray Kids, obviously, but it just worries me how the actual organisers are going to, cope with that. If they coped for J-Hope at American Lolla, then hopefully they can cope for Stray Kids at Europe Lolla. So we'll see. I'm very excited because it's literally 3 months away, but it still gives me serious anxiety because of how badly organised Music Bank was. So we'll see. But anyway, that was my Music Bank experience. I'm sorry if this video is stupidly long. I'm sorry that my voice is going. I haven't actually regained my voice properly because I only got back 2 days ago from all the screaming and shouting and but yeah, I hope this gave you quite a good insight. Again, I apologise for the horrible clips and just my overall it's a lot to try and talk about something. So and keep it quite brief when so much happened. But if you were at Music Bank, please leave a comment and let me know what you thought. What were your favourite performances? Did you love every second? Did you have any experiences in the queue? And also, before I end this, thank you so much to the people who came and said hi. That made me so happy. Didn't expect it. I was very nervous. I was self-conscious of just how I looked, how I dressed, just everything, because I get very much in my head when it's big social events like that. But you guys were lovely and you made me feel very happy. And to the one lovely girl who came to me right at the end and said, in broken English, which I appreciate because people made the effort to speak to me in English even though they weren't English. And she said, don't listen to the haters, just keep doing what you're doing. People love what you do. And thinking about it, because it was very quick because it was so busy, it's so many people. Thinking about it, thank you so much for saying that to me. It made me unbelievably happy. When I got to the hotel room, I felt very emotional that I'd met such lovely people, and just, you know who you are because we've interacted since, but thank you so much. And I'm hoping to see more people at Lolla, so if you're going to Lolla, also, comment. I might try and make like a group chat or something, because I think a lot of people are going to Lolla by themselves, so I'd love to kind of do, not even a meetup for me, not for, because I'm TeaNoSuga, no, that makes me feel, gives me the ick. I just mean for stays to meet up who are on their own, and it can be like a little community. So yeah, that could be something we could do. But anyway, I need to go and have a hot cup of tea and a sit down because this has been a long video and it's going to take even longer to edit. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for showing interest. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you to all the groups I saw live. You all did amazing. And thank you for Skiz for being part of my life and making this a possibility. So yeah, wherever you are in the world, look after yourselves, and I will see you very, very soon just for more K-pop stuff. You know the drill, guys. See you later.
Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!
See you next time!